Well, hi there. This is Kathy Crow I guess this is Kathy Crow's Cards. I keep forgetting. At the Crow Cottage at Springfield, Missouri. Boy, I don't know why my brain is dead today, but it seems to be. Maybe it's the rain. It's been raining a lot here, and I'm very happy about that because that means I don't have to water the garden. It was getting a little dry, and oh yes, I did say the word garden. I should have said bushes. I'm not doing a garden. I'm doing bushes. I do have some little violets out there. So I'm trying to resist adding garden plants. It's really hard. Just bushes. Bushes actually send down roots enough that I should not have to do much watering. You do a little in the summer, but not a lot of extra watering. And I'm trying to resist that so that Jeff and I can go travel when we want to. Now today has nothing to do with that. My mind goes to planting immediately. And today, Enduring Beauty is no different than everything else. It sends my mind to planting flowers because I love flowers. I think a lot of us card makers do, and that's one reason we like to make our own cards, because you can buy cards actually that show real pictures of plants and flowers that are more beautiful than what we're making, I suppose. Although, I don't know. I've seen some of the stuff that you guys are doing out there, and wow. I don't know. The real life is more beautiful, but sometimes, the creation is like, I wish a flower came in that color, or close to it, or it does, and I didn't even know it. Today, this stamp set is a really good one. It is going to survive the transition to our new catalog. I was very happy to hear that because it has the sentiment, love endures all things. Oh, which reminds me, today I saw in my newsletter, I had that Jeff and I were married 50 years ago. No, I'm not quite that old yet. I don't know why I said 50. Anyway, it's actually about 40. In fact, this fall, it's going to be 42 years. I was just doing a round number, and I guess 50 popped into my feeble brain when I was doing the newsletter. Anyway, for those of you who actually know me, you were thinking, she's not that old. 10 years right now. Sometimes, to Jeff, it probably feels like 50 years. Okay, let's see. What else do I want? I am going to tell you a bunch of things about Stampin' Up! That's going as we get going, but I want to do a couple of things with this stamp set because it's a really nice one, but it has to be colored quite a bit. So what they did is you see there's not a lot of detailed lines. There's some. I like it because there's enough to show me where the shading is. I'm not a great, artist. I can't come up with that very easily on my own. I kind of need help. But it does come with this Enduring Beauty masks as well if you buy the whole bundle. So if you hear clunking, that's just Jeff doing the laundry downstairs. So sometimes there's a loud clunk. That's all that is. Nothing's happening here. Enduring Beauty decorative mask. I want to start with this because I have mixed emotions about it, and we'll talk about it as we go. But I wanted to say tips because there's some things that I think can make this stamp set really stand out more than the stamp set alone is all so big that you can just stick that on a card and color it a little. You don't even have to color it very much. I think we're going to do a few things with this. So you can see how easy it is to make really nice cards with this. This is a great one. Now, I've got a note on it that says, so by dies, there's 10 of them that come with this as a bundle. And remember, you always want to buy the bundle because right now it's on 10% off. Now, when we go to the new catalog, it's going to lose its 10% off, system though. Here, let me get rid of something there. A little note from someone. Anyway, so you want to get this before it goes into its retirement mode. It's not going to retire, or its last chance mode, because last chance just means last chance for the 10% bundle. So even if they sold a ton of these and it became unavailable for a while, it'll be back because it's in the new catalog. But what is not going to come back is that 10% discount. So you want to get this while it's still a discount. Excuse me. I'm going to have to try to put the camera down, and I'm going to have a hard time doing it because I still have not. Let me find myself over here on the side. Oh, come on. Why did you do that? Oh, man, I have a tickle in my throat. Okay, there I am. Now we're going to have to listen to me for just a second as I quite quickly try to get that off. Oh, excellent. You saw my head really good. Long time ago, I started plucking those gray hairs, you know. Long time ago. And I don't care about it. You also saw my whole collection of punches and things I got in my closet back there. Do you know those shoe bags? I actually use those shoe bags to hold my punches in my closet in this room. It works really good. Okay, I'll come back in a second to, and I also use those shoe bags to hold my cards. So if you're looking for ways to hold your finished card projects, you can use those shoe bags and put little labels on the, you know, on the actual pocket of them. And then you can see pretty well what you have in those pockets. Okay, I think I'm going to be able to move. I've cleaned off my desk. That is actually going to help me more than anything else, I think, in getting my camera. Oh, I've got room. I've got room over here. I don't even have to push it over quite so far. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Almost. Almost. Perfect. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do, I think this is the best I've seen it in a while. It is a little glary, but we'll put this over here. Hopefully that'll help. It's going to be glary. Let's look here what I did. When I did it with the sponging and the mask and all, I wasn't really thrilled with the end product. It was okay, but I decided I wanted something more on it. It wasn't enough. And I'm going to sponge for, yes, I have a bandage on my finger and my nails aren't done. The reason my nails aren't done is because, you know, Jeff and I got this big, it's not a big landscaping project to me, but it might be to many people. I think I might let's put some cardstock under here. What have I got down here that I can put that's kind of, here we go. Here's an old piece of DSP that's really old. I'm going to stick you down here. We're going to work off of this. Now with your I might not be able to because I've actually got to tape this down, and then I'm going to not want to be taping it to the paper. I want to do it to this glass mat. Now, so they're in order. And they have, the masks have a number on it. You can't see it probably, but I can see the number. So it tells you what order you're doing your images in. So this should be 1. I don't see the number 1, but oh, there it is, 1. Oh, I've just got them upside down is all. Okay, so there's 1 and 2 and 3, and there's 4, and there's 5. Okay, so I don't necessarily go by the order that that this is. You can, but I'm not going to, because it kind of depends what your colors are. My yellows and all, I don't know that I want those to be last. Let's see if those are going to be covered the whole time I'm working. Oh, they aren't. Here they're gonna, that's the center there. And this is the absolute center. So when I'm looking at these masks, I'm thinking, the veining of the leaves can be number 4. That's fine. We'll think about number 5. But when I come to number 3, number 5 is going to be exposed in the center. So if I want some dark color to be the veining of my rose, and it's a darker color than these centers, then I have to move this here and get it done so I can at least see where it is. Or I can put a mask under here and try to avoid that. So that's easy to do, and I think that's what we will do. Here's tip number 1. If you see an area that is uncovered earlier in the masking that you want to only ink up here, you're going to need to put some tape under those areas on this mask. Now let's look on the next one and see what's covered and what's not. Okay, that's the leaves, that's good. And then this is the whole flower color. So now this flower color is going to be the lightest color you're going to use because you're going to be going over the darker veining parts of the flower after you've done this one. However, the centers here are exposed. So whatever this center color is, it has to be darker than this color. Because I could put a piece of tape here, because you can see, I don't know if you can see through this. Like if I had a light under here, you could probably see what I'm talking about. I could take a piece of tape and just stick that there, and it would cover up that spot. But I would have to put it on my actual cardstock, and I am going to avoid putting any tape on the cardstock. Now we have our old Stamparatus, which you could use for this, but it's really not necessary. But you probably do want to tape down your cardstock. And because this, if I want my flower bundle to look like this, I can do a horizontal image here with it turned. But if I want the image to look like this on the card, then I'm going to want a portrait orientation for that card. Does that make sense? So you decide which way you want your thing. I've done a lot of portrait, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do the horizontal version this time. And check out your sentiment and see if it's going to work. The shorter ones, these 3, actually work better if the flower is like here, because then there is room on the side, but there's not a ton of room either. So I don't know. I don't know, but if you want ribbon on it, you're going to want to put, and you don't want to take it out. Now it does have a die, so what we finish with I can cut out if I want to. I just don't think I'm going to want to. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible so you can see how you can do this and make it very simple. All right, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to get my cardstock. I'm going to lower this down a bit so you can see it better, hopefully. I'm going to put my cardstock right here on the number 8. We're going to intersect here at 8 inches, and I've got 10 centimeters up there. But we're going to just put it on the line where I can see 8 inches, so that if this shifts, I can at least get it pretty close to what I had it. I'm not going to put a lot of tape on it. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is put my tape on the back side. I do have tape here somewhere, some good tape, don't I? Like some painter's tape, because my washi tape has been not always working for me. The little washi tape you buy in the store, sometimes it peels off my cardstock just fine, sometimes it doesn't. But if I do just a tiny piece in the corner, maybe it's going to be okay. I don't know. I'm a little unhappy with how it's been going. What? I'm commenting. Oh, okay. I get you. I get you. It's a good day. It's a good day. Boy, the rain is coming down good out there right now. We had our retaining wall done. I'm so excited and pleased. So glad that we got it done, because until they started the work, we didn't realize that 2 of our 4 gutters drained right in underneath and right to the spot behind the house, right by the house, where no gutter should ever be trained to drain. And I don't know why they did that, you know. It was not smart. And whoever built the house, shame on them. They knew better. But we weren't here then, so whatever. Okay, so we're going to know where this is going to be. So we're going to start with this. All of the notches are in exactly the same spot. So just position your image where you want it. Oops, I guess I need to see if my orientation of my actual image is the same. Must be. Does it not match this image? I thought it did. I thought that this matched the image. It doesn't seem to. In fact, it definitely doesn't seem to. Let's have a peek here at the finished product. It seems to. This is really funny that I'm having this much trouble figuring this out. Why? What? I used this before. Why am I acting as though I've never seen this before? I don't know. But my leaves aren't oh, what a ding dong. I gotta get the leaf one to figure it out. Oh, there we go. There we go. Bingo. All right, so there's the leaves. Yes, yes. Okay, so now I'll use this one to orient it on my card because I actually want it to look like that. So I'm turning it one turn clockwise, and we're going to stick that there. The leaves are the farthest thing out. I do want room for the sentiment. Where are you going to go? Sentiment, sentiment. I kind of want you over here. So we're going to just barely get to the edge. So we want the notch. We're going to put that notch right on the same line that my cardstock is on. So that number 8, we're going to put that right there. And the notch has to be facing the number. You can feel the number even if you can't see it, that number 2. So you can feel it, and it's going to be facing up. Okay. So I'm going to put it back in the space that I have this here. And then, of course, over on the side are all of my, you can't see them right now. I guess I can move it over so you can. You can see my QR codes. I don't know if you need to, because I kind of don't want this to go up too high. You're probably not going to see my QR codes for now. All right, so we're going to feel the number 1. It's right there. I'm going to put this on the number 8 line. Okay. The notch, I mean. Just the notched part. And then you can eyeball it to see if you're relatively straight. That's why it's nice to have either grid paper under you or a grid. This glass mat has grid. This other glass mat that I have underneath this one also has a grid pattern. It's really helpful. All right, so we're going to tape this down. And then I'm going to do a very, very pale color for that flower. Because I'm not going to try figuring out where the centers are. I could do it. It's actually, let me do it. I forgot I named this video tips for this little treat of a bundle. So I probably better show you every tip I would use on it rather than just making do. Sometimes you can just make do with things. Find the center that you need to cover. This is it. We're going to position this right on here. And now I can see exactly where I do not want to be sponging. I can sponge now and go back in and then try to avoid those spots. I can. Or I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to tape my little washi tape. Okay, I don't think I have any little circular washi tapes. Boy, that would be handy, wouldn't it? But I don't. Do I have a sticky note? No, that probably wouldn't work. I don't like using washi tape because I'm going to be pushing down on it. I'm not thrilled with what's going to happen here, but we're going to do it anyway just to show you what you can do. So I'm going to take my little washi tape little piece of it just on that very center. I'm going to put it like right here. And then put it right back down in the same space. Kind of not covering all of that. So let's move it down just a little bit. There's one. I don't need very big pieces, and I'd like it to be in a circle. It's not gonna be, but that's okay. This one, do that one there. Okay, cover this one up right there. And one more. I'm not gonna worry about the other little ones. I can do those littler tiny ones darker if I know. Let's do a bigger piece. That's not a big enough piece of washi tape. All right, so our Stampin' Up new, oh, did I finish telling you my wall? So our retaining wall is doing a great job since it rained so much last night. The first thing I did this morning is head out back where I would normally have a big soggy puddle somewhere nearby, too close to the house. That's why we were doing it. And no puddle, perfectly dry by the house. I was so excited about that. All right, so now these are not as round. I would like them to be round. You could cut your tape so that it would be perfectly round. I'm just not going to worry about that. Let's see. I've done a pink flower. Maybe we'll do a purplish one. How about that? Oh man, I'm having a hard time deciding. Let's do bubble bath. Now, we are going to have retiring colors, you know that? We are having retiring colors coming. And one thing about all of our items that are coming off when the new catalog goes live, a lot of things disappear and leave. And so you're going to need to keep a close eye on that clearance rack, because there are going to be things all the time that are going to be regularly coming on that clearance rack. Now, if you don't know that the clearance rack and the new catalog and that things are retiring and leaving, and you need all that list to see exactly what's retiring, then you need to message me and say, can you please send me the retiring list so that you know what is leaving? Because if you don't know, then you're going to miss out if it's something you wanted and then suddenly it's gone. Now, you don't need a lot of pink. It just depends on how much color, you want. This is your flower. So if you want your flower to be a dark pink, you're going to keep going and going and going. If you want it to be a super pale pink, you're going to just do a little and stop. I'm going to take off my little centers because I shouldn't need them again now. That should be the only time I really need them. And then I'm going to go over it just a little so I don't have squares where that is. Just a little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot, but just a little so I don't have quite squares there. And then I'll fix it with the yellow in a bit. All right, but it is going to be still just a tiny bit lighter right there. Now, when you're starting to dab your ink, you've got to have these blending brushes. Rub it on the side to get some of it off. Otherwise, it's just going to be way stronger than you probably wanted. And then you can go on there. Okay, so now that one is done. We're going to take off the washi tape, but I'm going to keep it here on the side because I'm going to keep using it on the next folders. And then make sure you wash off your folder so that it stays ready for the next one. Okay, so I'm going to just take my little cloth. This is the one that actually came with this glass mat. During Celebration, if you joined our team, you were able to get the, well, anybody's team, you were able to get the glass mat in your starter kit. And it might come back. I don't really know. There's been mixed messages. I think it might come back, but I don't know. So if you missed out on it, I am so sorry. All right, so here is that mask. I'm going to just set that one aside. And we're going to go on to the next one. Now the next one is the leaf. So I'm going to move my ink out. Let's take my little washi pieces away for a bit. So I can line up my... I should have looked to see where I put my edge. You can kind of see where those leaves should fit in. It's okay if it goes on top of your flower color just a tiny bit, but you're going to want to adjust it a little just so that it is not right on there. Okay, I think that's it. So we're going to put that right there. I can see my flower peeking out just a tiny bit there, where I probably moved the folder a bit that way. I should have seen exactly what line I was on over here, and I didn't really. All right, so now we're going to go with our green, and I want a nice light green. I still love soft succulent. Soft succulent's going to be a really tough one for me to give up. It's one of my favorites. That one is going. That one is going to go. Yes, it is. It's one of the retiring colors, I believe. Maybe it even already retired. I don't know. I don't keep track too much. Okay, so we're going to do the soft succulent for the leaf. And with these masks, the nice thing is you don't have to worry about, you know, if you're going into the wrong space, unless it's like the center of that flower that was uncovered when I didn't really want it to be. Other than that, you're good. You can clean it first. Instead of over here on the glass, you can clean it right on your little mat. So if I'd like my base of my leaves to be a little darker, so you can start there and then work up. And it'll look that way. And if I was by myself, I could just spin my whole glass, and then it'd be easier for me to do the same effect here. I'm gonna, because I can't do it now. I kind of got it on the ink because it moved on me, but that's okay. That's just because I was goofing around doing something I shouldn't have been doing. You want to keep it all nice and still, so whatever. All right, so now we're going to put our little washi tape again on the side. Clean up the plastic. And that is good. We also online have online exclusives, but you can only see them online, and they're really cool. There are some really nice things. They sold out, the nicest things, I think, sold out really fast. Oh, what is it? It was like a scripty thing. What was that? Did I write it down over here? Yes, I think I did. Where is it? Not Sweetly Scripted. Yeah, the Sweetly Scripted and the Zinnia Sweet and the Latte Sweet aren't available, but the items are individually available, except the Latte Ribbon and the Latte Dots. And I think I saw that the Zinnia, Simply Zinnia ones were, they're low inventory, so if you want them, you're going to have to act fast. The online stuff is really nice. Okay, we're going to the next one. Now again, this one, my centers are showing here. So I don't really want them to show, but this time I can kind of see where they are. So I think I might just avoid them rather than, I don't want squares happening is the problem. And if I go ahead and use my tape again, we're going to have squares. So in order to avoid the squares, I am going to just put this down right where the notch is on the number 8 line. And we're going to move it where my actual flower outlines are, because it looks like it's off just a bit. And then tape your, oops, I moved it. It was set, and I moved it. Okay, there we go. Put your washi tape. Now on this, I'm just taping to this, so you could use anything. You don't have to use washi tape, and other tape might hold it better. Okay, so now, what have we got here? This is the darker veined part of the flower. And so you don't want it to be too terribly dark. You can use another ink, or you can use the same color and go in and just make it darker. And that's what I'm going to do, just so you can kind of see what's going on here. So I'm going to try to avoid my centers. Now, the center on this flower is up here. You can't see it very well. These are the 3 centers that I'm most concerned about. So I'm going to try to avoid them. I'm going to go right in with my ink, trying to get a nice dark vein in there. And it goes pretty fast if you just use the same color. Because, I mean, that's what it's designed to be doing. Oh, I went into that center. I do have a tinier brush. Let me go grab my tinier brush. I've got a really tiny one, but we do also sell little tiny ones that are pretty tiny. They're not as tiny as I'd like, but they're tiny. If I can find my pink one, I'll grab it. Maybe I don't have a pink one. Here, let's do a pink one. So we have these smaller ones that you can get that will do a little bit smaller area, and then I can avoid that center better while still getting the rest really well. Okay. All right, we're going to see how that looks. It's kind of fun to do this just because then it builds. It's a flower builder in a different way than we do other building. You know, we've got punches that do image building, and we've got the 2- and 3-step stamps that do image building. This is just a different way of doing it. It's real pretty. The only reason I'm not as thrilled with it is because I'm a detail person, and not so much of a watercolor person. Some people do watercolors beautifully, and I think they probably do a better job with these masks than I do. So you should probably check those people out. If this is a thing, if this is a technique you like, you should probably check them out and see how they do it. All right, let's put the leaf one on. It's pretty easy to see where it's going to go. But let's line up our notch first of all. And then once you've lined up the notch where you know it's supposed to be, you can more easily see whether it's matching up with your leaf or not. The only place I'm having an issue with is like right here where I probably moved it and got it off just a tiny bit. It's okay if you're off just a little, because actually you'll end up with a nice outline for you want to see where the leaf is coming down into the flower. So it will look like white. That's okay. And on the edge of the leaf too, it's okay. It's supposed to look that way. So I think that's pretty good. And we will stick that on there. And go back with our soft succulent. I might actually want something darker on this one. Let's do soft succulent on this one. Let's do I'm gonna get out. No, not that one. Let's get out garden green. That one's Oh, no. Spruce. Shaded spruce. That's perfect. That'll be a nice bluish kind of green. And I think I'm going to be able to do this. Yeah, that's nice. Now, theoretically, it's going right in where I want it and not anywhere else. When I do this, I'm always a little like, oh man, I don't know. Is it really going where I want it to? I don't know if it really is. Until I'm done, I don't really know if it's getting where I want it. I kind of don't like that. I'm a planner, and so it's like, oh, I can't stand it. I can't see what it's doing. All right, now the big reveal shows you if it really did what you wanted it to. Oh, and it did. Look at you. It's pretty good. Oops, I almost peeled that up. I don't want to peel that up. That has to stay right where it was. Okay. So we have one more. Now the last one, of course, is just the centers. So even if I had peeled it up, we would have been fine. I could have fixed that problem. This green is so green that before I wipe it with my other wipe, I'm going to actually use a baby wipe to get some of that. All right, I think they stopped. Oh, good, they did. I was dinking around there. Somebody, I'm sure it was a Republican. Can you believe, if I was a business owner in New York right now, folks, get your assets out of New York. You're crazy if you got property there. Wow, you better be making some changes. All right, so I'm going to put that again at our, we wanted it at number 8. Well, why is it at number 8? It should be higher. Oh, no, the notch is at number 8. That's right. Oh, I got distracted there. Okay, so we want the notch at number 8, and then I need to find where my center is actually, because I kind of adjusted when I shouldn't have. Ah, it was this line. Okay. This line and this line. That's it right there. Perfect. All right, so this is the last bit. Now, I've got pretty dark pink there, so we're going to go with yellow first to see how it works. I always start with the lightest yellow for a flower center if I'm going on top of color I've already laid down, and then get progressively darker if I have to. So let's start with our lemon lolly. It's my lightest yellow right now. And we will see what it looks like. All right, so you get a good amount of that on there. Oh, yeah. You're going to look good. You need a fair amount of ink on that one if you're using yellow, because yellow on pink is going to look pretty orangey. Because I did, remember, I got some of the pink in there. Now, if I had only wanted it to be a nice bright yellow, I would have needed to mask it like I did, and then definitely not go back over it with that pink sponge that I did. Okay, but I think that's as yellow as I'm going to get that. Now, I think that's going to look quite nice because you can see where I had a lighter pink coverage, it looks more yellow, and then where there was some pink in it, it is very orangey looking. There you go. Looks pretty good, huh? Do you see the vagueness of it? See, that's not my thing. That's why when I did this for the first time, I was like, yeah, that's really pretty, but it's a little vague. I like more direct lines, and I think that's why I like stamps generally better than the masks. I do use masking techniques quite a bit, but not this way. I don't use the image ones ever. When I do them, I'm almost always slightly disappointed in them. And I know we have a new one coming up. Well, this one's, I don't know if this one's retiring or not. I know the Stampin' Dies are coming back. I suspect the mask might be coming back, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know we're going to have another flower set that also is going to have these masks. So that's one of the reasons I'm showing this to you, because it's always an intriguing thing. It's kind of fun to do. Hey, Michelle, it's nice to see you. Oh, no, I'm so sorry you're sick. I hope it's a nice day there, because it sure is wet here, which I'm happy about. You know, one thing about living here, Michelle, my blue flower, purple flowers, they always call blue, you know, that are actually purple. They look more blue and purple here because it's just cloudier in general. So when you've got nice, hot, nice, blazing sun all the time, your blues always get washed out. It's the only sad thing about it. So I think what I did is I took this and then thought, I did my greens with the parakeet because I wanted that background. But I think you can see the veining better with this soft succulent and spruce. But I think when I was finished with it, I just wasn't quite satisfied with how the stamens look with my yellow, because it looks the same here, and that's kind of my problem. So if you are having that issue also, and you would like to sharpen them up, you can take a marker. This one's Peach Pie. This is actually a new color that's coming out. Peach Pie. Let's see. Peach Pie, you're pretty peachy. So I think we're going to try a lighter one. Maybe not even a marker. Let's go with our Pale Papaya blending pen. Okay, so Pale Papaya. And let's try just putting a little dot on my stamens here so I can see where they are. I can't even tell. I can't even tell where they are hardly. They're so hidden. And I don't like that. Did you know that there is a website that tells you all about fireflies? We have fireflies today. Oh, good. I'm glad it's nice. So if you're sick, at least you can sit and look outside at your beautiful yard. I bet you've got nice flowers getting started. In my newsletter, I also saw that I noted that we were going to get daffodils and crocus soon. Well, we have them. I have to write that thing so early that I thought by this time of the year we might not, because, man, it was cold. In fact, even tonight is still going to get to 20, I think 30 tonight. Tomorrow night, 29. And then it's supposed to be in the 40s and maybe 30s at the coldest, you know, warming up a lot now. Okay, so that helped a little bit. But I hate to mess it up too much with my coloring. And the point of the masking is that you're not coloring. So if you are like me, though, and you're looking at that and thinking that's just too vague, it's nice, but I'd actually like to see a little more definition on it. You can take your pens and you can take whatever color you want. Because I happen to have this one out, I'll just use it. This peach one is very pale. So you could, I suppose, add a bit of color in, but I wouldn't. I think if I kept doing this, I'd just be sad about it. Michelle put a bunch of really nice watercolors on our teen page. Michelle, how long have you been doing watercolors? You're really good at it. I was very jealous when I saw your watercolors because I'm not good at it at all. I bet you're better at this mask stuff too, because I think people who do watercoloring, they're much better at the masked things. So when I saw this, I thought, well, my purpose is to show you how to make a really nice card without having to do a whole lot of work to it. You know, you just mask on the colors. You don't have to do a whole lot of ink coloring. But it was just too plain looking just as is. I wanted texture, because when you have a flat image and no detail in the actual image, it just seems like it needs at least texture added. You know, oh, at a retreat? Oh, fun. Have fun. That'll be nice. You did those colors from one day. You are good. I wish you all could see them because she's really good. You should put them on my page here in the comments so they know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I have this script embossing folder, but because I didn't want an embossing folder that was going to give me a whole lot of detail, just a little something. So the time-worn type that we have right now is nice, but it actually has a lot of antique-y kind of stuff that just it's too much. So I'm going to still grab out our old scripty one. It just has the lines, and then it's going to just do lines. But once you've done this, you've committed to either cutting it out, which I could do, and putting it on a different cardstock, or you're committed to having a label. Because it's going to be pretty hard. If you want your sentiment to actually be stamped on here, you're going to have to stamp it. Now, we're going to go ahead and just commit to the scripting so that you can see how I did this. I assume that I don't even know if I showed you this card in my email today, but if I did not show you how I did it, so that's partly why I want to do it. Looks like I've inked this up and didn't clean it all that well, so let's make sure I've moved this out of the way so it doesn't get into that ink spot, if it is an ink spot. And then you've got different sandwiches. Now we have different folders that require different sandwiches. And you just got to experiment with what you've got. So this is the base plate that comes with the machine. This is a special plate that I bought to go with some of our fatter folders. And sometimes it works, and sometimes I have to go get a different sandwich, and I use my magnetic one, and then I use this one with the magnetic one, or whatever. But that actually worked. This scripty one is not a 3D one. The 3D ones are trickier for me. Sometimes I have to figure a couple of different things before it actually really works the way I wanted it to. I did it upside down. Okay, we're gonna have to do it again, and I don't think it's going to work doing it again because I did it upside down. That was not smart. That is so hilarious. I can't believe I did it upside down, but there it is. The label was upside down. I should have known. Huh. Okay, we're going to try it again and try doing it right side up this time. We will see what happens. Usually embossing again is fine. I think what I need to do on this, in this case, because I want to ink it up afterwards, so it's kind of got to be perfect. So we're going to just flatten it out. Let's try flattening it out first. That's not fat enough. Let's try a couple of plates and see if I can flatten it out. No, that's still not enough tension. Let's try the magnetic one, and this one, and the card, and that. That's too fat. You're getting the whole experiment today. And that's too thin. I have a variety of ways. We're not done yet. Maybe this will go through. Oh, I know. The other plate. Let me go grab the other plastic plate I've got. And I also have this flimsy, I think this comes, it's called the thin die adapter. It comes in really handy when I don't do things right and I need to. Now see, that is flattening it a little. Not much, but just a tiny bit. And now I should be able to emboss it again. Yeah, I know. I get you. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has that issue. But now, that's not totally flat. Since I really want this side to be the flattest, I'm going to try that again with the thin adapter die. The one good thing about this is that you can, when you're first starting it through, you just got to judge how much that tension is, because you do not want to ruin your machine. But on the other hand, it's got to be strong enough to actually press. You can take them, if you're desperate, you can actually iron it with an iron and really flatten it out. I'm not that desperate. We're not doing that. Okay, now we're going to try it again and do it the right way this time. So we've got the label up, and I'm checking the words to make sure they're directionally correct, because I don't think I even had that right. And now we'll try it again. Pretty funny. Okay, you know what, Michelle? I made the cheat sheet when I first bought this, when it was the Sizzix and not the Stampin' Up machine. I made this cheat sheet. The problem is it quickly was useless because not all these folders are the same. Even the 3D ones are not all the same level of 3D. And so I quickly realized my sandwiches are useless. And other demonstrators actually have sandwich recipes out there for you, which are equally, in my opinion, useless, because we have different embossing folders. And now, I don't know if you've seen them, but we have these 2 giant new embossing folders that are coming out. Do you see how big this is? It does fit through the machine just fine because it's still 6 inches across. You're only going to be able to run it through this way. You're not this way unless you have a bigger non-Stampin' Up machine. And this one feels like a 3D. That's our standard 3D. This is a thin one, though. Very thin. Do you remember the layered floral one? Okay, we had the layered floral one. We also had, I'm trying to find what I think is one of the fattest ones we had. What was that one? It was super fat. Well, actually, our exposed brick that we have right now. So we have this layered floral 3D is very thick, and the exposed brick is probably the same thickness. It's not, I don't know, it might be the same thickness as this new one coming out, but maybe not. Anyway, so they're all slightly different thickness. So you can have a sandwich for 3D, you can have a sandwich for standard, you could have a sandwich for thick 3D, and then maybe that would work. All right, so what I'm going to do to get this background, I don't want to have too many colors because this is already looking a little bit too much. So I want to stick with my colors, and I'm kind of liking the pink. With this one, I used my Parakeet Party to do what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do the pink this time. And you know what I really want to do? It's going to be too dark, so I can't use my Moody Mauve. I'm going to really like that Moody Mauve. Now, I'm going to use this, but it's going to get a little dark. I probably shouldn't use this, but I'm going to. I want those words to stand out. But you have to be really careful doing this. Do a little test here and see if you're going to really like that. And if it's standing up enough. You see, because I had to double emboss, it's not really even standing up enough like it did here. I only smudged a tiny bit here. Most of it I managed to just do the words. Okay, we're going to give it a go here. I'm going to just try to lay it really flat and really, really light. There you go. And then you can see your words. And I'm not going to go on the actual flower this time too much. I did on my sample card, but I'm afraid of what I'm going to get if I do that too much here. So really flat and just barely touching.
so that I can see my words a little bit. And I can see where it's not, where the embossing isn't as embossed based on how much my... Now, you don't want to do this either with a super inky pad. If your pad is you just re-inked it or something, don't do it. You'll be sorry. Okay, now if you want the words in the image, then for heaven's sakes, go ahead. You can do that. And then you can get some of those in there. So you can kind of just get a little texture in the card. It's just another, yeah, those are really big embossing folders. So if people are going to be doing any scrapbooking or anything, then they'll be able to with those, I guess. I'm not a scrapbooker, so I really don't know how that works. I've never done scrapbooking. Not like that anyway, not that kind. Kind of stick with keeping my photos real simple collection-wise, because I don't even keep them ordered as much as I'd like to. All right, so there we go. Now we can take our image that we did and trim it down. We're going to go pick out the side you want. I'm going to have my sentiment probably more over here. So let's trim down this side quite a bit. Now we are going to have, this is 4 inches. We are going to have, we'll trim this side to 5 1/4. So looks like it's pretty much trimmed for me already. I think I'll just leave it as is. And then we need our, that was bubble bath. So let me grab a piece of bubble bath cardstock. We are going to have our, oh, bubble bath, where are you? I thought I had you right handy here. I wonder if our blushing bride will work. I think I've got an abundance of blushing bride going here. Let's check it out. Blushing bride, you don't really match. Better find my bubble bath, because I think we want bubble bath. What was I thinking of? I was on a trail, on a rabbit trail of scrapbooking in my brain, and now I've totally lost track of what I was thinking of when I was searching for my bubble bath in my scraps. I thought I had some. Aha, I do. Okay, bubble bath. Yeah, that looks so much better. All right, so we are going to do 5 1/2 and 4 1/4. And that's a pretty good border. I don't even think I want any green on there. Normally I would probably want some spruce or soft succulent. I do have a bunch of soft succulent. Let's see what we think here. I might want it very thin. If you have the colors in it, you kind of want to make it stand out. But I think that it looks to me like the shaded spruce is actually much more dominant than that succulent one. So let's see if I have some shaded spruce in here. I'm sure I do. I go to my scraps first to fill out my cards. Try to use your scraps up. It's really, keeping your scraps dealt with is one way that you can really keep your card stash neat and tidy. Because if you never deal with your card scraps quick enough, they can really overwhelm your whole room super fast. I'm speaking from experience here. Okay, I'm going to lay this here and see if I like the green there. Or I think I would like the green under the pink. And just see which way. And see if I really do want that spruce on there or that soft succulent. Maybe I did want that soft succulent. Hard to tell. We're going to go with this on the base. So what we want instead of 4 1/4 is 4 3/8, and then 5 5/8. And that should give us a nice skinny edge underneath there. Very nice. Still able to see all of that really well. And you can use this for your label if you want to. So let's go ahead and we'll put green on here. And I do love the sentiment, love endures all things. You can't go wrong with that one. Let's see if I can find it. It's the one that will look the most used. I've done it quite a bit already. I just can't find it. It's probably the one on the edge here. Maybe it's lost. No, it's right there, of course. Now, we do have little flower dies and a leaf die. I haven't used them. I'm sure they're really nice. I just haven't gotten into that. Do we want this one, maybe? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I think I like that. All right, so we have our, now for that new catalog coming out, you are going to get to order, get a new, if you don't, first of all, if you don't have a new catalog coming to you, make sure you've ordered something from me and I will send you one, or you can message me for one. Then you're going to be able to order from the new catalog in May, I think. But if you're a demonstrator, you can order in the pre-order in April. Now our clearance rack stuff is going to start going on, and they're going to be refreshing it all the time. There's going to be different things all the time coming up on that, clearance rack. So please keep a close watch on that one, because here's one thing. I'm trying to find my Thoughtful Expressions dies. I use these all the time, and I was really quite certain that they were not going to retire when I bought them. And now I'm thinking they're gone. I didn't see the Thoughtful Expressions in the new catalog. Did anyone else see Thoughtful Expressions in the catalog? I sure didn't, and I was really stunned because they're pretty nice. I love this shape. That one's really nice, and they're a really good size for all kinds of reasons. They fit the sentiments really well, and they're layered, so you can, you can do what you want with them. So we've got that one. We could do our green with this. And I think that's going to look really nice. So anyway, Thoughtful Expressions. I don't know if that's going to be on the clearance rack, but you're going to want to keep an eye on that clearance rack. When things hit the clearance rack, they are there only until they are sold out. So if it's something like these labeled dies, they are going to go like so fast. They're going to be gone. And we demonstrators don't get any sooner than any of the rest of you, but we just have a better knowledge of what's going to show up there, possibly. We don't know, because not everything that is going to be retired, not everything is going to be on the clearance rack, right? So we don't really know for sure what things are going to be there and what aren't. But I know that when something has retired, like these dies, and the stamp set's retired, so it's not just the dies, the whole thing has retired. And so I just know, if I didn't already have them, I would be keeping a really close watch. hoping to see them show up there. Or I would be buying them right now while they're still available, because I think these might have been ones that actually weren't available for a while. I don't remember, because I bought them right off because I knew I would be using these sizes. I would use these a lot. They're stitched. They have tag type edges, and I just really like them quite a lot. So anyhow, that would be my recommendation. April 9. Keep an eye on that thing. If you are tired of not having the items available when you want to order them, I am sorry. The only way to avoid that is to become a demonstrator. So join my team, and then I will help you keep an eye on the things that I know are going to go fast. Sometimes we say things are going to go fast and they don't, because we don't really always know, but I've gotten better at it. Figuring that out. All right, so now we've got this little guy. It's going to go on there. Got that there. So we've got our 2 greens in with it. And that polka dot ribbon. I did a cute little Easter bag. And with our nested thing, this is the ribbon that's not available right now. That goes with that, it goes with the, do I want green or do I want, I don't really want anything too much here. It goes with that Latte Love Suite. It's really nice. I think you would like it a lot. I'm looking at my ribbons to see what we've got, because I've got, I don't know if I have Bubble Bath. Bubble Bath is a color, I don't think I ever got a Bubble Bath one, did I? Maybe, I just don't remember having one. I see something kind of pink that's a twine, but this is obviously an old one, but it might work. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna do these together. All right, so we're gonna go like this. One of these is garden green, and one of these is some unknown pink. And I have such a hard time with bows. I want to make sure I got plenty going here. So we're gonna cut those. And then this is a much skinnier version. So let's take some of this away. And then, oh, and then also the message, you know, you can message me if you want to know what is retiring and you don't. A whole bunch of demonstrators have sent out emails with those lists in the links. And so I haven't done it because they're available by a great many people. But if you do want to know what is going to be retiring and you don't know where to get that information, just send me a message and I'll be happy to send you the list. But you just have to remember that the things that are on the last chance list, not all of those things are actually retiring now. You know what? I'm going to have to turn this around. I think, yeah, there's the word. I see the word watched. So now you figure out where you want your sentiment. I think we're going to put you up there. So we'll put our bow right here. Okay. Sometimes it's the bundle price that's retiring, not the actual. It'll say it's retiring. It'll say it's on the last chance list or it's retiring, but it just means that the bundle price is retiring, and that really fooled me a lot when I was first starting with Stampin' Up. So if you want to be cautious about that, make sure you've double checked with me about whether it's actually retiring or whether it is just the bundle that's retiring. All right, so we'll glue that one to our pink Bubble Bath pink. Okay, and then we can put that on our spruce. Our shaded spruce. So Michelle, if you're still with me, what do you think about the new in colors? Do you like them better than the old in colors? I bet you do. I think these are colors you're going to really like. And I like them too. I have to admit I like them better. The old ones I wasn't sorry about because I use a lot of neutrals, you know, so that was fine. I like to do a lot of neutrals, and I like to do a lot of landscape type build-a-scene type, you know, cards. So that was fine, but I could see why a lot of people weren't thrilled with the old in colors and the additions and all of that. Thank you for coming back. You're not super excited. Is it because you think you already have a lot of the colors? Because I was thinking a lot of these colors are so, but they aren't actually, because I compared them. So I got them out and compared them, and they're different enough, you know, like they always do. It's different enough that they're not the same. In other words, they just aren't the same. So I'm going to use up an old dimensional sheet. I'm almost done with it, so let's use it up for this label. What do you think about this stamp set, this Enduring Beauty? Isn't it a good one? I really like this one. I've used it quite a bit. I tried to get it into my one that I was doing with the thank you cards for my kids, but then I remembered there'd be too much coloring there, and I didn't want to commit myself too much there. Okay, there we go. So that's just a card front. This is also just a card front, but I do want to show you the actual stamped image in it because it's pretty nice. It's easy to do. Let's do a stamped image. And you can cut it out if you want to and put it on any piece of designer series paper. Oh, you do like it? Good. I thought so. I thought, well, flowers is hard to go wrong with. They're pretty cool. All right, so remember when you are doing your coloring with those blending pens, you want to use your Tuxedo Memento Black. If you're going to watercolor, since I've got my watercolor expert here, Michelle, when you do watercoloring, do you use StazOn? Because I think you can't use Tuxedo with watercolor, right? Do you emboss or do you use Tuxedo or StazOn? And for the general audience, if you use StazOn ink, remember you've got to have the StazOn cleaner. You can't use StazOn and just leave it on your, you know, you can't just wipe it with water like I'm doing with this. Just wiping with water, cleaning that off, because the Tuxedo Black cleans off real easy and is nice, but StazOn, yeah, you've got to use the cleaner to actually clean it off. Okay, so now we've done that. Now it does have some nice dots that you can do different things around. I just wanted to show some coloring here. This is very sticky. I don't know why. It is. Oh, it's like super sticky. Let's get that cleaned off. I have no idea if it's glue. It's probably glue I just got on it just now. I'm down to the last of my wipes. Okay. Are you ready for Easter? Are you doing anything for Easter? I'm hoping that I can see. I'll see our one set of our granddaughter, 4-year-old granddaughter, she already did her Easter stuff. So we saw on FaceTime her doing her Easter stuff. That was fun. And we did that with our kids so much that I don't miss it as much as I do some of the other things that we did also with the kids. But it's just, I don't know. Easter egg hunts they're always fun. They're always interesting. But okay, here, let's have some new colors then, since you're going to wonder what they are. Here's our light petunia pop. We're going to play with this. Let's see what light petunia pop is going to look like. I haven't used it yet. So this will be interesting for me too. Talk about not knowing what you're doing. Light petunia pop. This is going to be one we're going to put around the edge. It looks like a purple. So I'm going to start on my the parts that I know will be dark. Okay, we're going to start on the parts that are dark. I can kind of correct if I'm not thrilled with the color. So that's one reason I like to start on the dark part, where it's going to get blended in anyway with the lighter part as I go. So if I start with a color I'm not terribly thrilled with, after those first two swipes I can change. Another smarter thing to do would be just to go zip, zip, zip and see what it is over here. But I guess I always am too confident in myself to be wise enough to do that. The one hard part about this kind of coloring is just seeing where to do it. So that's why I like ones that have some lines, some detail to give me a hint about where I would want shading. Now, Michelle, because you were so good at that watercoloring, I am assuming you've become a shading expert. Some people have taken classes, and if you wanted to take classes, I would really recommend. There were a couple of people. There was a Sandy somebody. She was not Stampin' Up. I don't remember what her last name was, but she was really good, and I'm sure she still does that, and had individual classes you could get online. Obviously, locally, I'm sure you could find people that would be really good. I give classes, but they're going to be really simplified ones. And because I am no expert, Alyssa Tilsner has got that Blends and Beyond, or Beyond. Isn't that what it's called? It's a Facebook page. And she also would have lots of great info for getting a class. So this is light. No, this is the light. This is the Pretty in Pink. And I do think it's going to look really nice with this petunia pop. But I'm going to overcolor with it. I haven't tried this before. It actually, to me, it looks a lot like Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to grab a Flirty Flamingo and see what I think about that. Okay, so here is light Flirty Flamingo. It's very, 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 very close. Very, very close. So we'll go back to Pretty in Pink. Now that one is going to be a little dark for me, so I'm going to just go over where I've got the shaded bits and color a little haphazardly. Okay, and then we'll color in with a very light pink from something else. Okay, now you can see where your petals are kind of cupped. So decide how you want your centers to be. Do you want them to have yellow in them? A lot of these roses, you know, they have white or yellow or orange centers. And if you want that, then don't touch it. Figure it out as you go. But if you want it to be a solid rose color, I would do some darker stuff down by the centers. I'm going to leave these white. All right, and then we're going to want something lighter. And I don't know what our peach actually looks like. I kind of got it out and looked there, but let's give it a go. Here's light peach. It seemed awfully dark. Do I have a scrap of white handy? I don't really. So I'm gonna just look at the back here. Oh, that is very orangey. So that is not going to work. I'm going to need a very, very light pink. And so I am going to grab out my bubble bath. And let's try our light bubble bath and see what it looks like. It's pretty light. It's maybe not as light as I'd like, but it's not bad. So just from the bottom up, or excuse me, from the shaded part. So it's up if it's on the bottom, down if it's the top. And then I'm going to leave those centers white for now because we're going to put some yellow in there. The light bubble bath's pretty nice. It's blending really well with those colors. The Petunia Pop and the Pretty in Pink. And I assume it would with Flirty Flamingo, since it looked like it was the same. Actually to me it looked almost exactly the same. Which is good to know, because I don't even know if I have my cardstock opened up down there. I know I don't have my ink pads. I do know I don't have my ink pads, so we'll have to use Flirty Flamingo for that. Hopefully they're coming pretty quick. I actually should have had them, but there was a little snafu. Jeff and I on Saturday, since they got our retaining wall all done, they left big piles of dirt, which I kind of had told them to, but I didn't expect them to have left it that much. I was a little disheartened. And so we worked pretty hard on Saturday. We were sore. And we got more than 400 pavers laid. It was nice, though, getting it done. It looks good. It's going to be nice for me. Not have to be schlepping my hose around on just wet grass all the time. That looks really nice. I love that, just even with that white. I don't know that I want to mess with the yellow too much. Let's get we've got Lemon Raleigh, and it's a pretty light yellow. It's not as light as maybe one of my Copic pens, but it's pretty pale. I'm going to do just the very centers of that with our light Lemon Lolly. Okay. Now you can use your pencils to get the effect that I'm going to use my pen to get. But if you don't want to have anything else, you could use a pen. I am going to use my two yellow copy pens that are very light. I've got a Y000 and a Y00 and a 00 is pretty close to Lemon Lolly. So let's see, Y00 is really pale. And I could have left it white. It was actually quite pretty that way too. This is going to blend that pink in just a bit. Okay, there we go. That's looking pretty good. You don't have to do a whole lot with that for it to look splendid. Okay, we have Dark Summer Splash. That's going to be pool party-ish. And, oh, you're getting another mini docs and you already have one. This weekend, oh man, you are going to be committed to having your pets around a lot again. Light Shy Shamrock. I think I'm going to like this one. Let's do the dark one first and see what that veining looks like. Oh, I like. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. Very fun. I really like your dachshunds. They seem so fun. I mean, I'm glad you like them. Jeff and I are not pet at home types because we like to be free to go do things. But, you know, every friend we have, they all have pets. They love them and they have a great time with them. Now, our neighbors across the street, they just take their dog. He's pretty big. I think he's bigger than they expected him to be. But they took him to training school, and he's actually quite manageable, and he's a really nice dog. They just take him. Do you and Josh just take your dogs with you a lot when you go places? Because they didn't at first. They've only had this dog about 2 years, so he's still quite the puppy. But he's a really nice dog, and they used to just leave him in a kennel here, and he did fine, but they worried about him so much. So I'm using my old retired mint macaron. This is a really good, good light green that you can just kind of pull all your... Ooh, I need some ink in you. In fact, you look like I need... This one's dead. Let's look at our light one. I bet you're even deader. Wow, those are gone. Let me find, I bet you I've got some. I bought a bunch so that I wouldn't run out. Let's see if I do have another mint macaron. I bet you I do. Seafoam. I've got seafoam. I think we're going to have to work with seafoam. These are both retired colors, but you know what? I might not have any of my mint macaron left. So this is dark seafoam. Let's see how you work. Ah, that's good. That'll do fine. They stopped just going without him because they worried so much about him that it probably spoiled their trip. And so they took a pretty long trip just this last month or month before or whatever. Right after Christmas or right around Christmas. He did great. I think I can use, that is the dark one, okay. We're going to use the dark soft seafoam just because I can. I'm running out of this one too. Now I know I have another one of these, another pair, but I may be getting down to the last of these as well. Now here is one other tip you can use. Is I have bought, you can go in and find little bitty tiny brushes that are similar to these. And then you can at least do the centers with your ink very lightly. And that works. You also, like I said before, you can use your pencils. You just find, the key is finding the pencil that you want. I'm not really seeing the one I want. I know I have a shaded spruce here somewhere. Thought I did anyway. But I'm not seeing it, so I'm going to just take this one. This is probably Granny Apple Green. And then that will give you just that little edge of color there, because I don't really want to leave it white. Okay. So you can use your pencils just to fill in, because it will look a little different if you covered a large area with your pencils. These are watercolor pencils, so if you're using watercolor paper, you can color quite dark and then use your aqua painter brush and blend that all in, and it looks really nice. Okay, let's take that. Where did you go? Is this you? Yes, Shy Shamrock. So let's try the light version for the stems. Okay, pretty, very nice. I like you. You are cute. It kind of reminds me of the wild roses around Spokane in Washington State. And I'm sure they have them all over that look that way, but It reminds me of the ones from my childhood. They were always so sweet. They're all over Washington State. In the wooded areas, you know, not around the Tri-Cities. All right, let's see here. We have new kits online. The online exclusives are ones you can only find online. So don't forget to go check those out. Oh, yes, I know it. I'm so sorry, Michelle, that your dog's passed away. I was sorry to see that that happened because that's really hard for everyone. Really hard. And the pen thing, going through the pens is just like a constant. I have the markers and the blending pens, and I hate being in the middle of a coloring thing like I just was with those blue ones, those green ones, and finding out that something's dried out and I don't have the replacement for it, and feeling stuck on that. I just really hate that when it happens. So I do try to make sure it doesn't. I have a ton of those Copic pens because they're my backup. If my Stampin' Up stuff is not, I don't have quite the right color combination or something's dried out, I do always have one of those that's gonna fill in for me. Okay. I love this flower. It's so pretty. This is such a pretty flower bunch. So nice. Okay, now one other thing I wanted to show everyone before you left me totally on this, because I'm going a little long. So there is a label punch that goes with this, or a label die. I don't know where, because as I often do, I put labels where they belong on something else. Like this is next month's set, or the new catalog. In the new catalog, there will be a set called Unbounded Love. These are the label dies that come with it. It's fabulous. So I should put my when I find it, I'll find it in here somewhere in my sets where I've added other things. No, it's not there, but it's going to be somewhere. I will find it. And I think I'm going to put it in here with my Unbounded Love. It's going to go really well with this set. It was just one longer die that would fit these sentiments, just the right size. But it wasn't so perfect that I felt like I needed to keep it with this set. Now we have, and I think we still do have, these fabulous brushed cards and envelopes. Aren't they beautiful? All ready to fold. The envelopes are matching. And what do you think? Doesn't that look absolutely gorgeous on that? You don't have to do anything with this to make it look good. There's also this card kit that you can color these if you want. Now I took one and cut it in half because I don't want to waste these. I'm probably gonna use them. And for me to have the image on the back as well as the front, it's like, nobody looks at the back. I want both of these. I want this on the front and I want this on the front. This might be too busy, so I won't do it with this one, but I do think that this will work well with this. But this set is not only really pretty, and you can color your flowers however you want. It has these wonderful envelopes with this filigree. I love that. And you can take your cardstock. You can put a little bit of cardstock underneath here, and you're going to see that really well. Just right there. Isn't that nice? So, there's a lot of things you could do if you wanted to take this envelope and just put a little bit of paper back there. You're going to have to glue it down, I know, but it's just going to be a solid little sheet of paper. You would have to trim it, but I do really like that. I think it's so pretty. You also could just take your sponge, like here, and you could just sponge the area underneath here. I think you'd want to sponge the whole area, and I'm not going to do that, but you could. But anyway, there's a lot of things you could do, and I think these are so cute. So this is gold foiled flowers, cards, and envelopes. And you get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 10 envelopes and 10 pre-fold, scored cards. I assume you also get 10 of these. I don't really know. Brushed gold cards and envelopes. And I'm showing these to you because I don't know if I thought these would be like sold out immediately because they would make such great kits for people to do card classes in. And they didn't. They still have them. So they might show up on the clearance rack. If they do, you are going to want them. Now, I think I want some pink here. So we're going to go ahead and take our white cardstock and just turn it a little bit pink with our bubble bath. Just because, I don't really want a stark white background for this rose. But it doesn't need to be super dark either. Okay, now I can do the back if I want to, but I'm going to have a little peek at that. I like that much better. Okay, so I can always finish that back side myself later. I'm not done because I want to get my label on there, and then we are going to be all finished for today, though. So I wanted you to see what a great set this is, and I'm so glad it's carrying over. I just thought, I thought this one was going to not carry over, and because it seems like the ones that I like the sentiment the most in, those are the ones they never carry over for me. Like if there's a lot of sentiments in it, they never carry it over. Everything's perfect. It's always been you is perfect for Jeff. Love endures all things, perfect for everybody. You mean so much to so many, perfect for almost everybody. Holding you close in my heart, so nice on every family member for sure. Embrace the beauty of you, that is a perfect birthday one. So we're going to do embrace the beauty of you. What a nice sentiment to do with all of this wonderful gold. If I wanted to do gold embossing, I think that would look really cool. But we're going to do just a simple card on this one. And let me see how I want my flowers positioned. Kind of need that flower. That bud needs to be up, it seems like. But that's the one that's the most open, so that kind of needs to be up. Maybe they both need to be up. And if they do, then I kind of need to do it like this. I don't really want to do it like that. We're going to do it like that. That is the way they have it on the set, so we'll do it like that. Let's see if this is going to fit. Kind of need to put that there. I might have to rethink everything then. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Because it's a photopolymer one, this is super easy to, let's do our soft succulents. I'm not sure, since I sponged pink on there already, not sure how great pink is going to look. And I don't want like a super duper dark pink. And I don't have my Petunia Pop that I used as the darkest color. But because it's a photopolymer, you can easily see the words. And so it's super simple to just ink up the part of the stamp you want. And this stamp set also is one that I loved so much just because it has different size and font name. It's not just the size, but it also is a different actual font. Okay, so you can put this part here. All right, Beauty of You. I put it, it's kind of in the gold a little bit, but not too much. And then you can clean that off. And then it makes it really easy to do a two color sentiment. I do not have
petunia or petunia pop in an ink pad yet, but I do have it in a marker. So I'm going to, if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Berry Burst. Petunia Pop. Okay, so we've got the Petunia Pop in a marker, and it's, you know, an ink pad will work good too, but it's pretty easy. I don't know if it colors photopolymer very well. I don't know that I've done this on photopolymer too much, but we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work good, because you can see through it, I can still ink it up with a pad and stamp it. Then you can move it up a bit too if you want. Okay, so I smudged it there. I don't like that, but other than that, this is good. So we're gonna just fix the ones that I didn't do as good, like that. Oops, kind of messed that one up. But you can still see it enough. You get the gist of it all. And then it did kind of, you know, color my stamp just a tiny bit. I cleaned it, but it still stains it a little bit. Those red ones sometimes do. All right. Thank you so much for being with me, Michelle. I really appreciate it. Today was a fun day for me, sharing all the stuff. Again, when that clearance rack stuff starts going on, make sure that you are checking it all the time. When they refresh it, you know, if it's a popular item, it goes fast. So here's another Stampin' Up tip that I'd never heard of before. When you have a smudge like that, use an emery board, and you can basically just gently sand away your smudge if it's not a really big spot. If it's a really big spot or really deep, you know, gonna dye all the way through the cardstock paper, it doesn't work. But on little tiny smudges like that, you can actually just sand it away. Can you believe it? How come I've been stamping for, what is it? Is it 30 years almost? I never heard of that before. Brilliant. Now some gold ribbon would be okay, but I really don't want to mess with my gold there too much because it's so pretty. Just leave it at that. And my dimensionals. And we are done with another card. I was going to do a package today. I have my package all ready to go. In fact, it's cut out and scored and ready to do, but I had too much fun today doing that mask and this coloring. So I hope you forgive me for not getting onto that. I meant to. Yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to the new catalog coming live. I've ordered a few things from it. I haven't gotten any of it done yet. I've been busy with those pavers, but it's going to be nice to be able to see our yard done. Now it is. It's done. Just waiting for some of the flowers to kind of mature and come on. But it takes a while because I'm doing bushes, you know, for that to actually happen. But I'm trying to be patient, seeing what things grow really well. Lavender does not grow well here. And I'm not sure about butterfly bushes. I see them growing really well at the park, but they don't have an abundance of them. So, I don't know. We'll find out. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate it. It was fun for me, too, and I miss you. Those are our cards. If you guys want to buy in the bundle, if you spend $50 with me, you get a crow stamp on your little Crow Rewards card. If you spend $60 or more, I will send you a little gift of some kind, but that has to be product, not shipping and tax and all of that. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. I'm going to try to move my camera up and move my chair so I can see you. I hate to say goodbye. It's like saying goodbye without giving somebody a goodbye hug, you know. So I hate to see. Oh, what did this say? It says voice enhancements. Wow, that was interesting. Maybe I needed it. I don't know. I don't think I want any voice enhancements. That's pretty funny. I tried to close my closet door a little so you didn't see that mess when I came back. Have a wonderful week and a happy Easter. Have a blessed Easter. We are so blessed to live here. And this stamp set just, to me, says it all. Love endures all things. Christ, he is so good. Get to know him. If you haven't been to church for a while, go this Sunday or Saturday or whatever day your church is. Go. It's good. All right? Love you. Take care. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Bye. Bye, Michelle.